welcome to Mika Reacts and Reviews, where we react and review to things on the internet. And no, another no-face video. My on-camera videos will be returning soon, I promise. But in this video, we're going to be talking about parents exploiting their own children for TikTok likes and financial gain. So there was this viral video that went viral a while ago. I saw it, I think I saw it on Instagram, where there was a mother sexually twerking and rubbing her ass all over her very, very young child. Looks like he's like a toddler, a little bit older than a toddler. And I remember just kind of seeing it and be like, okay, that's ratchet and ghetto, and I kept moving on. But apparently this woman, this mother, this so-called mom, got a lot of attention from that video. It went viral, she got a lot of attention, and I guess attention is hell of a drug, and she just continued making these sexual exploitative dancing videos with her child. And it goes even deeper than that, because for some reason some people really did enjoy this video and support this mother and actually defended her actions when people were like, hey, you're kind of traumatizing your child.
Because this is Katie Bougie, a TikToker who's recently been going viral. She's recently been getting a lot of traction on this application. Not only is it another example of a parent on social media realizing that yes, they can use their children in a way to get views on social media, even if it does come under the case of child exploitation, it also leads us into the just in general trend of this. The trend of using your kids in disturbing ways to get famous. It sounds messed up, but this is very much what we're facing today. As I said earlier, there are comments out there of people simply enabling this behavior and if not celebrating this behavior, and it is absolutely disturbing and has only led to Katie herself making comments like this about her own son. He knows what's up. Why? I'm his kiddie bestie. No, all you're going to be bestie of is probably social services.
So people defending it and people enjoying this and people actually think this is entertaining is one set of problems. And the other set of problems is the fact that she was playing into it, putting captions up like he know what time it is, or he know he my man, and stuff like that, playing into the fact that she's obviously being overtly sexual with her own very young child. A child that cannot consent to anything like this or any actions like this, right? And she just continued to make more videos, even making a video threatening her own child that it will be that CPS will take him away from her, just being a bad mother all around.
As I said earlier, there are comments out there of people simply enabling this behavior and if not celebrating this behavior, and it is absolutely disturbing and has only led to Katie herself making comments like this about her own son. He knows what's up. Why? I'm his kiddie bestie. No, all you're going to be bestie of is probably social services. And honestly, anybody defending this sort of thing is, in my opinion, a creep. You did nothing wrong. He clearly wants it. That's a child. It's a child. What are you doing? Why are you saying this for? And then there's also, he called it like it's all mine here. What? What's a kid? Are you fucking mental? What is wrong with you? And the man replies saying, he my man, for real. And if you're thinking, well, Fraser, it's not that bad, it is bad. And if you are thinking it's not bad, you are yourself mental. How do you know that, she was trying to do this on purpose? I know that she was trying to do it on purpose because of speculation, but because she actually confirmed it herself, saying that she is going to try and make things even worse. She said in the past that her kid had started saying weird things like they were speaking about pussy talk. I'm really not surprised, and I really think it's a representation of the environment that this kid is growing up in.
Understand one day, because just know You're finna be in CPS care. You're finna go with some white people because you're sure as fuck not coming back here. So I hope you're happy. And I'm sorry, but your daddy is in jail.
So this is not the first mom to do this on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, but it seems like it really blew up when it came to the degeneracy and the downfall of the West, which is TikTok, that app. It seemed like it kind of blew up. Not only more and more parents, specifically more mothers doing this to their children, but seemingly the audience being okay with it. You know why? Because normalizing sexualizing children has actually apparently worked in society. Now it's just normal. People applaud it. Sexually exploiting your own child. People are like, yes, queen, go for it. Anyway, I'm talking about this today because I came across this sort of well-known big YouTuber who was talking about this and have been talking about the sexual exploitation of children on TikTok for a while now. He's been going hard. I'll put his name on the screen here. The reason why I want to specifically talk about his video, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I'll put the link down below and you can see the watch. And you can watch the whole thing. He does a really good job with it. And if I forget, just remind me and I'll give you the link. I'll be happy to do so. One of the talking points, one of the messages he kept reiterating throughout the video is, how are the audience, how are the fans, how are the viewers okay with this? Because it seemingly seems like people are finding it hard to understand why this behavior is wrong. And not only this twerking mom's behavior, but other parents who are obviously exploiting their children. Is kind of, they're getting a pass, and anyone calling it out is being called a Karen. And I said, that sounds kind of familiar. You know, when people point out the fact that, I don't know, drag queens that are known to do adult entertainment, reading stories to children seems a little bit weird. Parents, taking their kids to drag shows when men are walking around naked or in bondage gear, or there's strippers, or there's overtly sexual acts going on in public. I don't know, talking to young children in elementary school about their genitals and their sexuality and how they can change their gender. I mean, I don't know, weirdly being super invested in adolescent kids cutting off healthy body parts seems a little bit exploitative. And when we call that out, we're called homophobic. We're called right-wing homophobics. That's not a word, and I don't know why it's always got to be right-wing, like something's wrong with being conservative, but we're called the same type of names. Odd, because this particular YouTuber is a very rainbow advocate, sort of protector, gatekeeper type of guy, and I get it, that's his generation, that's his audience, so he himself have actually criticized people from even using the word groomer. He himself have said, oh, this is a dog whistle for homophobics. This is a right-wing conservative tactic to attack the LGBTQ plus rainbow community. But also, in the same breath, finding it hard to understand why sexualizing children have become normalized on TikTok. Because it's been normalized on TikTok. And we have been calling it out for years. Because at first, it seemingly seems like, maybe I'm wrong, but it seemingly seems like if it's under the rainbow umbrella, exploiting and sexualizing children, being inappropriate with children seems to be protected and okay. But when it seems to be nothing to do with queerness and nothing to do with the LGBTQ plus community, then it's okay to call it out. Then it's kind of weird, right? Why? Just the other day, I was watching a Tim Pool video, Timcast IRL, and they were talking about a drag show that was all ages. That means there was plenty of children and young children in the audience. Granted, their parents, most likely the mothers, dragged them there, and it went from being, oh, it's just about entertainment and fashion, to boobs out prosthetic boobs, but very realistic prosthetic boobs out, no pasties, nipples and all, and then two men simulating anal sex on stage in front of children. And they were targeting children the entire time, bringing children on stage, asking children questions while talking about their explicit personal sex lives with children. But when we say that's weird, oh my God, you're homophobic. But when it has nothing to do with queerness, then it gets called out.
Let me pull up this story here for you guys from timcast.com. Disney affiliated drag queen welcomes children to show featuring simulated sex and nudity, where two men go up on stage in front of children and simulate sodomy. First, they said, drag shows are just fashion. It's dancing.
Yep.
And then once all of the left got on board and said, they defend these things and the right's crazy, they've now graduated to drag shows where I can't show you the image, not on YouTube. It is exposed breasts, like simulated breasts, but like not a bra, not a fake bust, quite literally nipples and everything on this person's chest called tits in a box. And then there's actually a dude wearing a thong, and he turns around and he giggles tee-hee with his ass to the kids, and then it shows like the spiral of his ass around him. And then you actually have two guys doing it on stage, simulating doing it on stage. These kids are watching it all happen. They're being groomed by overt sexualization in these shows. It is escalating. They are incrementalizing more and more and more, and this ends with them actually abusing the kids in these events. It started with a drag show where a drag queen dances. The next thing we saw was it's not going to lick itself. Then we saw children taking their clothes off on stage for men at a gay bar. Now you have them simulating sodomy in front of children. And they were. What do you think happens next?
In this particular show, did they constantly target the children? Because we have video after video after video of all of these performers speaking to the children in the crowd, calling them up to the stage, interviewing them, putting them on the mic, all while they're also explaining. There was one part where one of the performers talked about a sexual act that they had with their father's boss and detailed it, right? And then went around the audience and had the audience share their favorite sex stories. Knowing
with children,
knowing that there were children in the audience. They knew this because they were conversing with them on the microphone. So for everyone who wants to say, well, it's not the drag queen's fault, they didn't add, they're just saying all ages welcome just because they want to be welcoming and they want to be inclusive. They could very, very easily make this 18 and up, 21 and up if they wanted to. There is a reason why they called out to those children. They called them up to the stage. They received tips from them. There is a reason why they are doing that.
I'm glad this YouTuber is calling it out. I think he's doing God's work. Don't get me wrong. But it's funny how in one video it's, oh, groomer is a dog whistle for homophobics. On another video, oh my God, I don't understand how sexualizing young kids is becoming normalized. Because you guys have already said it's okay, that is normalized. You guys said, oh, if an adult entertainer like a drag queen, which usually and historically was adult entertainment, reads books for some reason to children, that's not kind of weird. Talking to young kids about their genitals, 5-year-olds, kindergartens, that's not kind of weird. Normalizing adult teachers talking about sex, gender, and sexuality with their young classmates, that's not weird. A man passing dildos and butt plugs and saying it's okay because it's under queer sex, that's not weird. People saying that kink and pride in kids should go together, that's not weird.
I want to clarify this for a second here. I'm not saying that kink isn't kid-friendly. I'm saying that kids and kink can coexist at Pride in a totally fine way.
I had like our LGBTQ plus health center come in. They were passing around butt plugs and dildos to my students. The kids are just playing with them. They're like, how does this butt plug work? How does this work? That's a really cool part of my job.
And everybody's cool with that, like the butt plugs and the dildos. Nobody complains.
No.
I mean, if the parents found out, would they?
No. It's queer sex.
Kindergartners. What's that, age 5? Kindergartners.
Yeah. 6?
5, 6.
6, first grade.
Yeah. Sent home with a masturbation assignment.
What?
The masturbation assignment was to find a private place in your home where you can touch yourself without being disturbed.
Is that real?
Real.
Jesus.
Real.
Did you know in many states you can get certain types of health care without your parents being there or ever finding out about it?
Could this year get any f***ing worse? It's been normalized. Sexualizing children has been normalized and applauded because when it was under the umbrella community, when it was under the rainbow community, you guys turned a blind eye to it. So don't be surprised now when everyone else decides, hey, if they get to sexualize children, if they get to normalize grooming children into cult-like communities on TikTok, then I can do it too. Why can't I get in on this? It's a little bit more creepier and disgusting and sad and weird when it's parents, but y'all didn't say anything when the mother was exploiting her own child as a drag kid and making millions of dollars, putting them on covers of magazines, making documentaries about their trans kids. You didn't say anything about to those parents who was exploiting their children. But now it's weird because it has nothing to do with queerness, so I can talk about it because it's weird. Are you guys following me? Are you guys following me what I'm saying here? Anyway, I agree with this YouTuber though, that this is sick and weird behavior. I agree with him that it's sad that it seems like more and more people are being okay with this and sort of going, it's fine, it's not my business, whatever. Because again, this trend of mostly mothers, and if you notice, it's mostly mothers doing it to their kids, taking their kids to drag shows, seemingly coercing their children to become drag kids and trans kids. You know, that one famous interview when the mother is literally mouthing her child's statement because this is something they practice. It's mostly mothers because women tend to be narcissistic, women tend to be neurotic, and women tend to live vicariously through their children more than men do, more than fathers do. I'm not saying men don't do this because especially when it comes to sports and stuff like that. Parents exploiting their children like this, in this manner, seemingly seems to be more of a mother thing, right?
I feel like that's the most unfair way to compete because it's not about winning.
What's it about?
Having fun with your friends for it, though. I feel like that's the most unfair way to compete because it's not about...
Mothers making their sons their pseudo boyfriends or pseudo husbands is nothing new. That is nothing new, especially when it comes to single parenting. A lot of single mothers do this to their sons, fuck up their fucking sons, all up in the head, traumatizing their goddamn kids. So her saying that my son is my man, that's actually nothing new. At least she's being really fucking blunt about it.
That in the absence of a man of the house, a husband, father, lover, a mother will place her son in that role. He fills that role emotionally most often, and that child is often groomed into this position from early childhood. The son fills that masculine role in the house throughout his childhood, adolescence, and into adulthood as well. Once he grows old enough, his mother even tends to rely on him for financial support. And we often see this in the case of professional athletes, but this happens in regular homes too.
But again, this trend is creepy. So I applaud this YouTuber for doing this. My criticism is when other people who happen to be conservative was pointing this out in the rainbow community and using the word groomer, you criticize them. Just, it's okay to point it out, grooming, weird behavior when it's detached from the LGBTQ community, which is fine, point it out. Again, I'm glad he's pointing it out, but it's not fine when it is attached to the rainbow community. I'm confused. So hypersexualizing children, exploiting children is fine as long as queerness, like the teacher said, as long as queer sex, it's fine. But if it's not attached to queerness, then we need to point this shit out and it's weird. No, if you accept sexualizing young children and normalizing that in any community, don't be surprised when it just becomes normal, period. Right? Call that shit out no matter what community, no matter what situation, no matter what group the person who's doing the sexual exploitation belongs to. Always point it out. He will never do that because a large part of his audience, I think, belongs to this community, so he would never do that. I think this is his way of pointing it out and not getting in trouble because I think he's wink wink look, this is going all over the place and it's weird. Why is this happening? But he's right. This is a trend. She's not the only mother who's done this. There's been plenty of moms. There's a famous one that he talks about on his video where the grown men in the comment section are saying sexual things about her like 3-year-old child, and even giving requests of what they would like this 3-year-old child to do, like eat a hot dog or do stuff like this on camera. And then the mother next day has her 3-year-old child eating a hot dog. She knows exactly what she's doing, and she's still doing it to her own fucking kid. This has been happening. This is a trend on TikTok, and it is completely and utterly becoming normalized, and it's freaking sad. The West has fallen. When more people care about people's feelings, because I actually made a post yesterday on my community post about this undercover admission from Project Veritas, where the teacher admitted, proudly bragging that he was sitting back watching his underage 14-year-old classroom students play around and pass around dildos and butt plugs. When I posted that, someone in a comment section goes, oh yeah, but you have to make the distinction that it's not everyone in the LGBTQ plus community. No one said it was, but you're more concerned about the feelings of those people than less outrage that there's children being exploited. That is what's sad, and that is proof and evidence. The West is not falling. The West has fallen. America has fallen. When you're more concerned about not hurting people's feelings and less concerned and outraged that children are being harmed, your country is dead, is done. It is soulless. The society, the community, the institutions, the parents, and everyone living in it have allowed this to happen and have helped it usher it in because people are too fucking scared to just say the goddamn truth. No one is saying that is the entire community, but what I'm saying is, it doesn't fucking matter what community is happening in. Grooming is grooming. Exploitation is exploitation. And children are children. And it should be called out, and it should be applauded when it's called out every single time. Because if it was parents sexualizing and exploiting their children for likes and financial gain, would not be applauded by the mainstream audience, because we would have never allowed it to become normalized. But now it's here. Anyway, this video is probably longer than I really wanted it to be, but I just wanted to point it out because I watched this guy, this YouTuber, on and off. I like that he calls this out. I am applauding him for calling this out, but it just seems kind of funny to me when we use the word groomer, and for some reason, people in the LGBTQ plus people, the advocates, the people that seem a little bit on the defense, they are the ones saying that we're using it anonymously or using it in pair with the LGBTQ plus community instead of just using the word appropriately. If you're a groomer, you're a groomer. When he defended that, but now all of a sudden, I'm so confused why sexualizing children is becoming normal. Because you guys let it be normal when it comes to a certain community. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. FYI, I'm queer, I'm bi. I feel like I have to say that. It gives me a little bit of protection. I'm a black, I don't know if you know this, I'm a black queer woman. So, you know, if you try to cancel me, if you're not only racist, you're homophobic. Anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell to get the notifications when you do upload. All of that really does help with the algorithm, guys. And if you'd like to support the channel even further, you can donate. My PayPal link is in the description box below. Also in the comment section, hit the link, go subscribe to my travel vlog channel, and follow me on my travel Instagram. My stories is usually what's most up to date. And you guys have an amazing day. Bye.
I think it's disgusting, and I think this really, really needs to be looked into rather than ignored.